Hi, my name is Nora, and I have cyclical Cushing's disease. Today we're going to be talking about mental health with Cushing's disease, cyclical Cushing's, and general chronic illnesses. However, I do want to say before we get started that I am not a medical expert. I am simply talking to you from my own experience. If you are seeking professional help for your mental health or for your physical health, please see a doctor, psychiatrist, or therapist. Thanks so much. So I know that a lot of people, I've been talking to so many people with chronic illnesses about how terrible it is for their mental health. But specifically, I'm going to talk about cyclical Cushing's and the problems that it causes on your mental health. So, of course, the fact that you're sick puts a mental strain on you, regardless of anything. But there are very specific things related to Cushing's that are really hard to deal with. So, especially if you have cyclical Cushing's, we've talked kind of about you have two places. You have a high and a low. So, on your highs, that's when you're feeling better. You'll feel pretty good, but you will feel kind of anxious, high-strung. You think everybody's mad at you. I cannot tell you how many times I've called my friend Lily and been like, are you mad at me? And nothing has happened. I haven't talked to her in 2 weeks. I just assume everyone's mad at me all the time. You're kind of angry. The way that I explain this to my family, so family members, if you're watching, this is so helpful. Everyone else starts their day at a 1, and I start my day at an 8. So anything that goes wrong when I'm on a high, I'm quickly at a 10. Like, I'm quickly very emotional about it. It's really rough, and I'm here because I started at an 8, and you're starting at a 1. So if I'm at an 8, the best way to handle that is to come at me with a 1 because it'll help bring me down. If you come at me at an 8, we're just going to keep going up together, and it's going to be a problem. Please understand that your friends with cyclical Cushing's disease, they're not themselves, and you need to be understanding of that and understanding that there are hormonal problems causing these things. So then there's mood swings. Mood swings are awful. You're feeling so fantastic 1 minute, and then you're feeling like absolutely awful the next minute. It sucks. It's going to happen. The best way, like, my best advice for you is to just be, like, open and honest with your friends. I think some of you may have heard of, like, the spoon theory, that you get a certain amount of spoons, and each kind of have a different value. So, for example, showering is 1 spoon. Going to work is 3 spoons. Eating is 2 spoons. You get a certain amount a day. Basically, when you have cyclical Cushing's disease, those things now take up more. Showering is 3 spoons. It's hard. I can't shower every day. Going to work is all of my spoons. There's nothing else I can do. Most days I don't eat. It's really difficult. And so, like, understanding that and understanding what you can do is so important. And my spoons are going to be different from your spoons. Everybody's different, and that's so, so important. Even though I may understand what you're going through, your experience is uniquely yours, and you need to figure out what's best for you. The major thing that happens with Cushing's disease on a low is major depression and suicidal thoughts. Foremost, if you can afford to see a psychiatrist or a therapist, that is my best advice for you, because I know that I couldn't, and I was very close to killing myself multiple times. It is so hard. It is like the most difficult thing I have ever had to go through. It is so important to have a support system in check, people checking in on you, making sure you're okay. Having someone that you can go to. It's also really important to be as honest as you can with the people that you care about. I know it's really difficult, but telling people I had a suicide plan and having them know what my plan was incredibly helpful, because I know that if I'm in danger, that they're there for me. And when you're feeling good, put those plans in check for when you're not feeling well anymore. You're going to cry a lot. I recommend just doing it, going with it. Listen to some sad music, watch some sad movies, listen to, like, whatever makes you happy, whatever you need to do, but don't ignore the fact that your moods are changing and that you're feeling depressed. Like, you need to acknowledge it and understand it, and it's a great way to help you with testing. I will say I chose not to go on antidepressants because I wanted to be able to use my mood to help me test. I don't recommend this. I recommend doing what you need to do to take care of your mental health. You can't get healthy if you're not here. So it's really important that you put yourself first. And for anyone who's dealing with someone who has a chronic illness, please be open, ask them how they're doing, check in on them. Another thing that I think is so important to talk about is that we feel like a burden all the time because we now need people, we rely on them when we didn't before. I know that that's so hard, but you can do little things for the people that you care about to show them that you care. You can write them notes, you can make them dinner when you feel up for it, you can just text them and tell them how important they are to you. You're not a burden, you are worth it, you are important, and you deserve to have someone be there in your life, and if they didn't want to be there, they wouldn't be there. So just know that and keep that in mind as you're going through this. You can always reach out to me. My Instagram is below, but I am not a therapist. I'm not a medical professional. If you feel like you need medical help, you need to go through with that. You need to tell your family. You need to deal with it. I know it's really, really hard. So when you're feeling good, that's when you need to put all these plans in place so that when you go to your parent, your significant other, your friend, and you say, I'm going to commit suicide right now, there's a plan in place and you're ready and you know what you need to do. I know this is so hard, but something else that's really helped me is having coping mechanisms. I have a different, like, art thing that I do every week. I have paintings. Here's one of them. They kind of suck, but I love them. I have a really good time doing them. I tried knitting. I tried embroidery. I watched a lot of bad shows. I watched a lot of good shows, funny shows. Stick to funny shows. Nothing too serious, even if they're good. And find what helps you. TikTok is a lot of fun. It helped me. Some people like Tumblr. Some people like Instagram. Whatever makes you feel good, do it. Like, be there for yourself. Show up for yourself. Now's the time where you have to focus on you. If you want to get better, you need to be able to be in the right headspace for that. I wish you the best of luck. I know it's really hard, and I hope that you're able to get through this. Just remember that you matter.